Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2020 Transplant Games live from the Meadowlands. And now, give it up for tonight's host, voice of the Brooklyn Nets, and Transplant Games ambassador, Olivier Cedra.
Welcome, everybody, to the... the pandemic. The hybrid games. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the 2020 Donate Life Transplant Games. As you just heard, I'm your host, Olivier Cedra, and I'm so happy to be joining you here tonight. Now, I know many of you have already been participating in some games, activities, and competitions, but tonight is the night. Tonight, we officially open the long-awaited 2020 Transplant Games in 2021. New Jersey has been working towards this since the Cleveland Games in 2016. Well, 5 years and one pandemic later, their time in the spotlight is officially here. Now, as you know, this year is a very different experience than most. But just because it's different doesn't mean we're going to have any less fun. And we still have a lot of work to do to fulfill our mission. The COVID-19 virus made a long-lasting impact on all of us and helped us to see that our mission for saving lives through organ, eye, and tissue donation is still vitally important, maybe now more than ever. This year's hybrid games offer us a number of things that we haven't had in the past. Thanks to technology, we expanded our audience globally, getting our mission in front of tens of thousands of more people. Thanks to our partner American Dream, we have a TGA Village that welcomes not only those in the transplant family, but hundreds of people who don't know anything about our mission. Hosting in a public space lets us tell our story to so many more who could one day become part of our family. Our healthcare partners, RWJ Barnabas Health and Hackensack Meridian, Hackensack University Medical Center, and University Hospital, who normally provide on-site assistance with competitions and special events dealing with emergent issues, have been a guiding light as we try to navigate through 2020. What I'm trying to say, folks, is it's been a journey for all of us. But we made it. We're here. So please, take the next 4 days and get the most out of the great content we're creating for you right here in the Event Hub. Take an online tour of the exhibit space and stay up to date on all the daily news with our broadcast live from American Dream. Thank you to our partners, Team Liberty, our hosts, the New Jersey Sharing Network, the Transplant Life Foundation, and of course, a very, very big thank you to you, our teams, and the transplant community. Thanks for hanging in there while we planned, replanned, and planned some more. Enjoy the games, everyone. Turn on any major sporting event and you'll see the national anthem performed by a celebrity or another well-known artist. Not today, not here. Joining us to perform our national anthem, please welcome double lung recipient and New Jersey Sharing Network Hospital and Community Services Coordinator, Denise Peoples.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of free and the home of the brave.
Wow. Can you, I can't even imagine. Denise, incredible. You're a double lung recipient. How on earth do you belt out the national anthem the way you do?
Well, I tell you, it is my donor. It's my donor and God. It really is. I cannot sing, get up in the morning, anything without thinking about that angel that saved my life. 15 years ago now, almost 15 years.
Well, we all get to enjoy it. It's phenomenal that you're standing here.
Yes.
After the path that you went through. You had to tear down trees and pave a new road.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about your journey?
Well, I was diagnosed with idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. Nobody in my family's ever had it. And it just really turned my life upside down. It changed. I couldn't, I was very active. And that kind of just came to a screeching halt. And then on October 2nd, 2006, an angel from South Carolina, 18 years old, saved my life.
Have you met the family?
Not yet, but I'm never going to give up hope.
Oh, wow. Well, I can tell you that we are so very impressed. And we're so grateful that you're here with us.
I'm grateful to be here.
And I know everyone is super happy that you were the one here on the mic kicking things off for us.
Yes.
Denise Peoples, everyone. So happy to have her around. And now for the invocation. Please welcome from Agape Family Worship Center in Rahway, New Jersey, Pastor Lawrence Powell.
Dear Lord, thank you for the opportunity to gather together today and to enjoy wholesome competition. Thank you for Transplant Life Foundation and for its contributions to humanity. Thank you for each donor who has given their life in sacrifice, for each recipient and those who are waiting. We thank you for the privilege of our events today. You've created us to strive for the best and good things. I pray grant to all athletes, coaches, and fans strength to pursue excellence during this event. Give us your spirit of peace and love for one another. Bless us with a spirit of goodwill, both for ourselves and others involved in today's games. Help us to be the best we can possibly be, striving to play fairly and play well. We pray for the safety of each athlete. Protect them from injury and harm. I ask this in your name. Amen.
Transplant Life Foundation CEO Bill Ryan is the man with the mission and the vision to bring you these games no matter the obstacles. I love this guy. Bill joins us now.
Thank you, Olivier. Hello, everyone. Greetings from the beautiful, or dark, Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. In a normal world, we'd be looking out at a sea of faces, smiling, cheering, and celebrating the opening of an event that honors the heroism of donation and transplantation. As we now know, this is not a normal world. Instead, we join together in a reimagined and newly designed way. We still have heroes, and thankfully, we are still together with the help of technology. The 2020 Transplant Games were intended to recognize and celebrate the 30th year of the Games. We may be a year late, but we are ready to celebrate the Games, and we know you are too. Despite the challenges brought about by the COVID-19 virus, the transplant community has remained front and center in the fight to reduce the number of individuals waiting for transplants across the country. 2020 was a massively successful year for transplantation as programs rebounded nationwide. And for that, we stand here tonight to recognize these amazing accomplishments, of course, noting that for the most part, the heroes responsible are not here physically in New Jersey, but remain safely at home. Please don't lose sight of the fact that these games are still about you, our heroes. So we stand and salute donor families, living donors, recipients, recovery professionals, medical transplant teams, and fans everywhere. Thanks to all of you for your efforts. Welcome to the reimagined 2020 Transplant Games. The next 4 days will highlight programming that continue the traditional spiritual and emotional ceremonies like the ever-popular quilt pinning events and coffee houses. Those of you here locally can join us at American Dream for an opportunity to see the donor quilt displays and live stage programming. For those of you joining us through the Event Hub, you can connect with many others in our community and visit with friends, old and new, while also visiting our online sponsor exhibits. Daily activities brought to you from the beautiful American Dream Entertainment Complex include daily highlight videos of competitions, special events, and parade of athletes. These are both live and streamed through the Event Hub. As a registered attendee, you can hear from medical professionals and industry guests on stage in the TGA Village. Guests can attend grief workshops and participate in each day's signature event. Beyond tonight's opening ceremony, join us for tomorrow's Living Donor Day, Sunday's Donor Remembrance Day, and Monday's Salute the Veterans and the Road to San Diego. Of course, I would be remiss if I didn't mention our mission to promote and celebrate organ, eye, and tissue donation and transplantation. Even though we can't physically be together this year, and we miss you very much, we do have a unique opportunity. Hosting the games in the New Jersey, New York market and in a very public space gives us a chance to get in front of thousands who may know little to nothing about our mission. So we will deliver our message and educate them about saving lives through the miracle of transplant. Thank you for being a part of the journey.
Strong partners are part of the fabric of success of the Transplant Games. One of those longtime partners, Novartis Pharmaceuticals, is the legacy sponsor on the Games. To welcome you to their backyard of New Jersey is Global U.S. Patient Engagement Director Rose Salati.
This is actually my first Transplant Games that I'll be attending, and I'm looking forward to experiencing the power and the possibility of organ donation and transplantation that I've heard so much about. All of us on the Novartis team are humbled by the courage that so many of you bring to the Games. From the transplant recipients who embody faith, patience, and strength in the face of adversity, to the donors and donor families whose selfless gifts demonstrate humanity at its finest, and to the committed healthcare professionals who give so much of their time and care for patients and enable the gift of life to become reality. You inspire and motivate us to give back to the community and to do our best every single day. Whether this is your first Transplant Games experience like me or your 15th, I want to thank you again for giving us the opportunity to be part of an inspiring and powerful event for nearly 3 decades. Enjoy the Games. Thank you and good night.
Thank you, Rose. Earlier, we heard from Bill Ryan about his dedication to safely bringing these games to New Jersey despite a global pandemic. For those teams who have hosted games in the past, you know all too well that it takes a village, even more than a village, to bring this event to your town. The planning cycle is normally a little over 2 years. Well, because as they say, everything is bigger and better in New Jersey, I guess. But this team here, they've been working for over 4 years for these games. Let's hear about their Transplant Games journey, shall we? Joining me now, Elise Glennon, Executive Director, New Jersey Sharing Network Foundation. How are you, Elise?
I'm good. Good to be here.
Good to have you. Thank you for joining us. So these games are here. We're finally here.
We finally are.
They're a little different. They feel different. They look different. But they're here. When did all this process start for you?
This started in 2016. We attended the games in Cleveland, and we came back and we started to talk to our partners, our transplant programs, about bringing the games here for 2020. So we started the conversation back in 2016 and started kind of putting pen to paper in 2017.
That's 5 years right now.
It sure is.
What are your thoughts as the timing and the look of the game shifted when this pandemic rolled in last year?
So, you know, the name of the game is flexibility.
Yes.
And I am so lucky personally to work with the team at our foundation, both our staff and our board, and to work with the entire organ procurement organization that I get to work with at the Sharing Network, as well as all of our partners and the venues across New Jersey who have maintained focus on our mission and our mission to bring awareness of organ and tissue donation to New Jersey. So with that in our main focus, every time we had to shift and change, we were all ready and willing to do so.
At least from what I understand, the process to plan these games has started several times over and over throughout this process. Can you walk us through that?
Well, again, luckily, the other big partner we have is obviously the Transplant Life Foundation, Transplant Games of America, who have been operating and running and executing these games for so many years that having them as our partner as we try to navigate this whole new event space in this way really kind of put us at ease as we went through things.
What do you hope the athletes that are participating in this year's games take away? I mean, they are unique after all.
Yeah, they are. And I have to say, on behalf of our entire organization, we were really looking forward to welcoming the participants from around the country and around the world to New Jersey. We wanted to see them, we wanted to hug them, we wanted to celebrate with them in person. And we're really glad that we have reimagined these games so that we can still celebrate in some way together this summer through the Transplant Games. And it's my hope that all the participants, whether they're participating, across this country or around the world, kind of leave the games feeling hopeful if they're waiting for a transplant, hopeful about the progress of their transplant, hopeful that we will continue to work on the legacy of their loved ones who have passed and become organ donors. So my big message to the participants, I hope they leave with hope.
It's amazing. Thank you, Elise, for all your work and your passion and dedication to the cause, to the games, each and every single day. You've given this community a version of the games that they didn't necessarily expect, but it's definitely games that we'll never forget. So thank you so very much.
Thank you.
The Transplant Games flag is always front and center at the games. Team Liberty, the host team for the 2020 Games, recently held a public flag signing with a tremendous turnout. That event gave us a chance to speak with team manager Patty DeSanto about her hopes for this year's event. With Patty DeSanto, manager of Team Liberty. How are you, Patty?
I'm doing great.
So tell Patty, the games are here. They're in your backyard.
They are, finally.
Finally. What does it feel like?
So we're really excited. I mean, we know we have to kind of pivot a little bit for these hybrid games, but we are super excited to have them here in New Jersey.
Can you maybe share with everyone some things that you've learned through your experiences, through the times that we're in, and how you've coped and how your team has coped throughout this process?
Sure. Well, we're still meeting virtually and checking in with everybody, but kind of what we're learning is that there's still a message that we're looking to get across. There are a lot of different ways to do it, so we just have to get a little bit creative, and that's kind of what we've been doing. So we're looking forward to kind of continuing that through July.
Patty, tell us about the competitions and how they'll work in each home market.
So what's really exciting is that we're really having people do competitions in their communities. And whether it's bringing some Team Liberty members or other teams across the country together, let's say we're going to do something for golf and we're going to do something for a 5K where we actually come together in a socially distant way, but we are coming together to do those competitions. And we're getting team members signed up for their competitions in the Transplant Games of America website and then doing those activities in their communities. And it's an opportunity to share it with their friends and their family, bring them along, go to a track or go to a golf course and go to a bowling alley or swim and do those activities and then post their scores.
And hopefully we'll be able to encourage more people to be part of this community and hopefully encourage more people to sign the back of that card.
Absolutely, that's what it's about.
Absolutely. As Patty mentioned, competitions look a little different this year. Crazy times call for creative measures. Many of you gathered in your home areas to golf, run, and bowl, and then posted your times and scores online. We also heard about some of the video-driven events, Lyrics for Life, Dancing with the Scars, and Transplant Talk. Congratulations to each of you that competed this year, even though no one was throwing elbows on the basketball court, which you shouldn't do to begin with. In a year that could have been very dark, your competitive spirit has been a shining light for us all. Each year, the Games produces a daily broadcast that features competition updates, relevant guest speakers, and heartfelt stories from all of you. The other special thing about this broadcast is the production team. In a typical year, this show is almost always completely produced by a group of broadcast majors from a local university. This year, the production is a bit scaled back, but we have some new talent bringing you the scoop live from American Dream. Let's meet her. Kate, so happy you can join us.
Thank you.
So Kate, tell us, now you're a musical theater major, correct?
Yes.
And where do you go to school?
Marymount Manhattan College.
That's super cool. Are you excited about this? Because you get to have like opportunity to transfer your skills from one to the other.
Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to interview the participants and learn about their connections to organ and tissue donation.
So, you know, it's a cool opportunity to be in front of the viewers that we're going to have on camera. You're going to be live at American Dream. But how does your major come into play? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, being behind the screen is going to be super beneficial, especially since over the past year, film has become so much more prominent in this industry. And I am so excited to interview all the participants. I feel like having those engaging and confident conversations is also super crucial. And I'm really excited for the whole process.
You know, we're going to hear about amazing stories throughout the games, and we've heard over the years many, many stories. But I feel like you're probably somebody that'd be great to share stories with our viewers and those live at American Dream about organ donation. Tell us your connection with that.
Yeah. My dad is Brian Glennon. He's an altruistic kidney donor. He donated his kidney to a stranger in October 2017, and then he met his recipient live on television.
Oh my goodness, live on TV. I'd be so nervous. Okay, last question. I won't keep you. Tell our viewers, when can they see Live from American Dream?
The program will air daily at 3:30 Eastern, both live on the American Dream stage and through Transplant Games Event Hub.
Thanks, Kate.
Thank
Appreciate you. Make sure you check out Live from American Dream, airing July 16th. Look for Kate. She'll be on for sure. And now we pay tribute to those in our transplant family that we've lost over the last 3 years. In 2012, after so many years of gathering to celebrate the miracle of donation, the games were at high risk of being lost. And one man, a kidney recipient, didn't want to see this beloved event disappear, and he petitioned the Grand Rapids Sports Commission to take on the Transplant Games. And they agreed. That man, TJ Masiak, was the catalyst in why we continue to come together every 2 years for this wonderful celebration and remembrance. Bill Ryan picked up that ball, and he ran with it. Boy, did he run with it. But Bill didn't forget who was to thank for this opportunity. So he created the TJ Masiak Award for outstanding dedication and contribution to the games and mission of saving lives through organ donation. This year's recipient was just a little surprised by the honor. Check it out. You know, if there's anyone that has a passion for transplantation, it's Maria Lopes. And I know that firsthand. I've seen her in action. I know the effort she's put forth. Maria, thank you for taking the time to talk to us about the games in your backyard.
Amazing.
Isn't it?
It is amazing.
Hey, can I break in? No.
Sure, Bill. I'll get out of the way. What's
Hi.
up?
Sorry, man.
It's all right. Go right ahead. Whatever
I'll
we
share
need.
the Emmy with you.
Oh, I'm okay with that. then.
That's unexpected.
All right. I have to tell you, I'm the luckiest man in the world because I work with people that are amazing. Almost every single person I deal with on a day-to-day basis is a superstar. And every once in a while, blue moon kind of stuff, there's one person that stands out that's even more of a superstar than the rest of the superstars. So I'm here today to tell you that the 2020 Masiak Award is being given to Maria Lopes. Let's hear it. Come on, Maria. She's crying.
Oh my
All right. So, when I say superstar among superstars, I mean, we're talking about the big leagues here. So, all the things that Maria's done for us, we thank you. You're an amazing person. We love you. And take that home, put it on your mantle. All right?
Can I butt in again?
Yeah, get in here.
Maria, you're gonna take center stage right here.
Okay.
So, Bill, maybe you can tell us a little bit about this award and why it's so important to the Transplant Games of America.
Well, TJ Masiak was a kidney recipient who back in 2012 actually took a step forward and asked the games to be saved. They had actually been discontinued. And so he came forward and really took the initiative to try to get some organization to take over the games and keep them alive. So we approached the sports commission that I was a part of. The rest is history. It could go on forever, but we picked up the games and we brought new life to them, and we couldn't have done it without this woman. I mean, this woman really is instrumental in making that all happen. So it goes every year to the person that makes the most exemplary effort to promote organ donation, transplantation, and to make the games special. And this year goes to Maria.
I know I gotta give you a beat, but you gotta tell me, how surprised were you right now?
I'm in utter shock right now. This was so unexpected, Bill. I don't know how to accept this amazing award. I know what it means, and I know the story, and it's because of you, not because of me or anyone else.
I haven't done anything. You guys did it.
No, I mean, what an honor and a privilege. I don't know what to say.
Well, then let me ask you a few questions, see if you can answer those.
Okay.
Like Bill said, you've worked tirelessly to not only make these games successful, but to spread the mission, to expand the footprint, to let people know and create awareness. And today, this is all happening in your backyard.
Yes.
There's been so much effort put forth. Where does this passion of yours come from?
I mean, it's very few lucky individuals that get to participate in a role that's a job that eventually becomes a mission. And I don't know how it doesn't happen in these types of circumstances where the impact that you have all around to humanity it's just so great. I mean, it's scientifically incredible. It's so much room for innovation. There's such a great need and so many good human beings that make this possible that it's impossible not to become passionate about it and make it a part of a mission to what we're all trying to do is just end the wait. We want to end the wait.
Agreed. The games cannot exist without the generous support from our partners. RWJ Barnabas Health has shown tremendous dedication to these games. And one of this year's special stories comes from the Barnabas Living Donor Program. Here to tell us more is Justin Edelman.
And we have a chain, which actually has become the longest chain in the country, and it's 64 people, 32 pairs of people who really didn't know one another when they started, but ended up giving and donating. And once you donate and once you go through that process, it's life-changing, and there's a connection forever. And this connection and this chain has continued, and it's through St. Barnabas Medical Center, one of our hospitals within our system, and it's just truly amazing.
I'm Al, and I'm a living kidney donor.
Hi, I'm Ted. I'm a living donor kidney recipient.
I'm Tony, and I'm a living kidney donor.
I'm Kristen, and I'm a living donor kidney recipient.
I'm Stacy, and I'm a living donor kidney recipient.
My sister Kristen, she got sick, and I think it was a 5-year process until finally it became that she was going to need a kidney. She had a lot of friends flooding the hospital with information to start searching, and she found a match, but right at the end of all the testing, that person found out that she had a form of cancer. I asked, what do we need to do to get this done? And that's when they mentioned the sharing thing where you give to a stranger.
My uncle has had issues with high blood pressure and went into kidney failure in April of 2017. He was told he needed to go on dialysis and looking for a new kidney, getting a transplant. Right away, I told my family that I was going to get tested and try to be a donor for him.
I donated a kidney on behalf of my husband, Glenn, in August of 2018, August 15th, 2018 to be exact. Glenn had been suffering with kidney disease and on dialysis for almost 7 years. I was not a match for him. However, we went through the living donation program at St. Barnabas, and I was able to donate to someone else in an exchange, a kidney exchange. And then Glenn also received a kidney in that exchange.
In the world of kidney transplantation, we have that other avenue, which is living donation. So a patient in need of a transplant may come to us and say, I have someone that wishes to donate a kidney for me or to me. And then the question becomes, in what avenue is that done? Some patients can be a match. So we look initially if the intended donor is a match, and that is based on two things. One is blood type compatibility, and the second is what's called cross match, which is essentially a mini transplant in a test tube. And if that cross match is negative and the blood types are compatible, then we can proceed with that transplant. There's a large subset of potential kidney recipients that come to us with a potential living donor, but that donor is incompatible to them.
I was actually at work when I found out I wasn't a match, and I completely broke down. I felt like a failure.
In September of 2016, I got on the list for just for any kidney donor, living or deceased. No one ended up being a match. So
we now have the mechanism to do several things, what I refer to as alternative living donor programs. The most common is what's called kidney paired exchange, or what is commonly referred to as kidney chain. And that is to say that if patient A is in need of a kidney transplant and their potential donor is incompatible to them, and patient B is in need of a kidney transplant and their potential donor is incompatible to them, then maybe patient A's donor is compatible to patient B and patient B's donor is compatible to patient A. So we can exchange the two, what's called a kidney swap. Frequently, a chain will be triggered by an altruistic donor.
First, I have lupus. 35 years ago, 6 years ago. My kidney, it's kind of have problem. So the doctor told me that I need to go to dialysis. Every day she'll call me and talk to me, and then at the end we will pray together. And she always said to the God, said, "Dear God, please let my mother, open her stubborn head and accept her kidney."
In 2014, he was like, you're hovering around like 12 or 13%, and we need to start talking about options. And so that's when I took her to the hospital to St. Barnabas to get on the waiting list. The day that she called me, she was afraid that she wouldn't be able to pick up her grandchild. And at the time, I was single, and I was like, what grandchild are you talking about? But now we are 2 years after surgery, and I am pregnant and due in April. So it's kind of crazy.
An altruistic donor is someone that calls up our transplant center and says, "I'm pretty certain that I have 2 functioning kidneys, so I'd like to donate a kidney to somebody. I don't know anyone that needs a kidney transplant, so can you find someone within your program on your waiting list?" And that is just a truly, truly remarkable individual that really has a commitment to help one's fellow man or woman that is really way beyond what most of us are capable of.
I have 2 sisters and 1 brother, and a mom and a dad. Me and my dad so he plays the drums and I play the guitar. So.
I know he likes to mountain bike a lot. He donated his kidney to a random person.
That's the craziest thing I've ever been a part of, because I can't imagine the logistics that took place that day it was 4 of us. I'm pretty sure it was 4 receiving kidneys. And then you had 4 separate donors. We're not allowed to see anybody else and try to determine whose kidney you're gonna get or talk to anybody.
They keep it pretty secret. They give you different times to come in so you don't see each other. It's all very early in the morning. We were told at the time of surgery, about the week before, they said there were about 3 or 4 pairs at the time. It wasn't until the reunion, the following year, that we found out that we were up to 30 people at that point, and I think it's even bigger now. She was the first recipient. Yeah, so her donor, Brian, who's the altruistic donor, he was the first donor. So I'm the second donor.
I donated a kidney altruistically, which means I donated to a stranger. I literally woke up and I said to my wife, I really want to donate one of my kidneys. So we met with the late Dr. Magankar and had a meeting, and it really did feel like he was trying to talk me out of it. Wasn't exactly sure why I was there, but after explaining to him, where I was in my life and, how I wanted to give back and help others, he knew I was doing it for the right reasons. The only thing I knew about my recipient was that she was a female and that the kidney was doing well.
I mean, it feels amazing that somebody was willing, like my husband, but willing to donate their kidney. And because there's so many people in this world who think, oh my gosh, I can't give up my body part. But in actuality, you can live your entire life with 1 kidney. I feel like I'm so lucky that somebody was, willing to do that. And as I'm so happy that my husband was willing to do that for me.
Before my father-in-law approached me about it, I wouldn't even think about donating my kidney. It was something that was on my radar. Talking about Brian, I met him at a 5K race. He was kind of amazing, but I think they're just another level above what we do as donors.
It doesn't hurt to get tested. While you always have the choice to say no, you're not going to want to, because you're going to see how it's going to change somebody's life and get them back to being healthy and being able to live their life.
I joke and like kind of make fun of my mom that like on the show she was so like stoic and so like emotionless, but actually right before we stepped onto stage, we were standing back there and you were already on stage. And I was like, oh my God, you got the altruistic donor. And she was like, that's so nice. And she just started crying.
My life feels more complete since I've donated. I am, again, thrilled to be a part of this chain.
I feel happy because he saved someone's life without you knowing who they are. And he went through a huge surgery for someone else.
I'm proud of him. I think it's an awesome thing to do. I'm proud to be his son, too.
I'm sure that most of you know of or have seen and signed the Transplant Games flag. In a typical year, the flag makes its way across the country and is signed by thousands. And then, for each Games, the flag is presented as part of the cauldron lighting ceremony. This year, we have a very special group presenting the flag. Processing in with the 2020 Games flag are donor family members from the New Jersey area. Ezekiel Garcia, father of Ray Garcia. Jen Jova, mother of Andrew Jova. Jane Buckowitz, mother of Danny Buckowitz. Lakeisha Bray, mother of Talia Joy Stokes. Patty Jackson, mother of Zoe Jackson. And Dan Sarnowski, representing the love of his life, Betsy Niles. What a wonderful way to receive the flag for the New Jersey Games. For each Games, the Torch Run is an event looked forward to by everyone. The Torch takes its journey across the country, touched by each team, from our friends in Hawaii all the way down south in Florida, across the heartland, and right here to the East Coast. Let's take a look at this year's journey. Good stuff. I always love to see how creative teams get when it's their turn with the torch. But where is it now? Well, you're about to find out. We just saw the story about 64 people, all brought together through living donation. To see that endeavor come to fruition took a huge network of living donors, recipients, family, friends, physicians, caregivers, and a host of others, all with the common goal of saving lives through organ donation. And some of them are joining us today. What you're now witnessing is why we all come together to carry this mission forward. Haley would not be able to enjoy watching her grandson grow up. Brother and sister, Tony and Kristen Renda, who now continue to enjoy time together. All of these relationships, memories, expansion of families continue on because of selflessness and the passion, dedication, and expertise of the caregivers. An entire transplant team who works tirelessly to ensure their patients have a safe and successful recovery. Living donation ultimately comes down to two people, the living donor and the recipient. Ted's life was saved by his niece, Lauren. The family members you see and countless others related to the 64 people in the living donor chain have one man to thank for his generosity, selflessness, dedication to helping others, helping strangers. Over 3 years ago, this man, a father of 4, a husband, brother, son, and friend, a very active guy who enjoys skiing with his kids, playing drums while his daughter plays the guitar, cycles to raise both money and awareness for causes that are dear to his heart. A man with a very full life. One day, he walked into Barnabas Living Donor Institute and said he wanted to donate a kidney. Not to a family member or a friend, but to a complete stranger. Just someone who needed a healthy kidney in order to continue enjoying life with their family. That man receiving the torch from his surgeon, Dr. Stuart Geffner, is Team Liberty member Brian Glennon.
Brian, I'd like to thank you for the gift you gave and the lives that you helped to transform.
It has been my honor.
And now Brian will ignite the cauldron to officially kick off the 2020 Transplant Games. So Brian, I just saw you part of the torch run, and you've got to light the cauldron for the 2020 Transplant Games of America. How does that make you feel?
Wow, it was quite an exciting moment. It has been quite a journey for us to get to this point. I am just so grateful to be a part of this transplant community.
Brian, there were so many people joining us today, friends and family. They're all here to celebrate with you. Your wife, Elise, is here. She was part of the entire planning process for these games. It's been a long time coming. How does it feel that the games are finally here and they're in your backyard?
Oh, we love it. We absolutely love it. You know, my commute to get to the games this year is like 15 minutes.
No plane needed.
No plane needed. I am, we've been waiting for this for quite some time, and we're excited to get the games officially underway.
I'm sure it's been a bit of a struggle based on the fact, you know, that we've gone through what we've been through and we're bumped a year later. And how do you feel the spirits are like within the community here in Meadowlands with regards to the games and them taking place finally in New Jersey?
Oh, the spirits are as high as they can be. Obviously, the games are going to be different. We would love to have all the teams together, but since we cannot do that, we are just super excited to do our separate things and then come together at some point and celebrate in our own way.
So, Brian, your recipient, Haley, was here today as part of the torch run and handoff. And since you've donated your kidney to Haley, she had an opportunity to meet her 1-year-old grandson. She gets to hold her grandson now. How does that resonate with you as a dad?
Oh, well, that is just pulls at the heartstrings. But that's really what it's all about. I mean, for her to be able to see her grandchild and to live life the way that she should be living life, that's very special to me.
And how incredible, I've got to ask you about this though, how incredible is it to know that you started something that just kept going, and we're up to 64 people are part of this donation chain that you started. Like, what an inspiration you are. How does it make you feel? I know you're humble, but tell us a little bit about what that was like for you to find out that people piggybacked on what you did. They picked up that torch and they ran with it.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of people are involved in this chain, obviously. From it, what I really get is that we've seen the best in humanity. You know, people just giving because they wanted to give and wanted to help, and I'm just happy to be a small part of something so big.
I told you he's humble. More than a small part. Thanks, Brian.
Thank
you so much. I mean, thank you are just small words, but they're a symbol of great appreciation for who you are and what you've done. And I'm sure everyone here will agree that you are a true inspiration to us all.
Thank you.
And a special thank you to all of our 2020 Transplant Games partners. All right, guys, the 2020-21 Transplant Games are now officially open. These next 4 days of reconnecting, celebrating, and remembering will be 4 days that we will never forget. So please, make sure to tune in to all the programming featured in the Event Hub. Visit our partners in the online exhibit hall, watch our signature events each night, and continue to spread the mission of saving lives through organ, eye, and tissue donation. Enjoy the games, everybody.